welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is September the 2nd, 2025. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully you've had a good Tuesday, a good Tuesday, if you will. Mine went pretty well. Guess we can go ahead and just do the rundown on that really quick. So we got up and it was a regular day back at work. We were able, I will say, woke up a little too early. I don't know why I beat my alarm by like 2 hours or whatever, but overall I wasn't too sleepy, so that was good. But we get into work, we get in on time. I'm happy for that. And work was solid. I will say it went from slow to, I don't want to say like busy, but definitely there was work for me all day. But overall, I didn't feel too overwhelmed, so that's good. We will take that. From work, we went to the gym, where I was definitely expecting a busy Tuesday. Everyone kind of back from holiday mode, ready to sweat it out. It was a busy day, but not a busy day. I was able to get on all my equipment, which felt good. And overall, the weight training went well. The cardio went well, so we love that. I will say, though, I'm still, I have this, upper back-ish injury that I'm still kind of nursing. And it's funny because it was literally from last week. I think it was around this time where I was on the squat rack thing, essentially a substitute for my deadlifts, and I just hurt myself on weight that wasn't even heavy. We were talking like a couple of 45 plates, that's it. And it just goes to show that it can really happen over the smallest things. You really just gotta be careful. You gotta be mindful, because like I said, I'm still dealing with that from last week. But overall, though, like I said, a good workout, a good gym session. So we love that. Overall, a good day. It's nice. It's been nice to have a good Monday and a good Tuesday, back to back. I was kind of waiting for the drama to hit, the problems to hit, the meltdown to hit. But no, overall, it was good. Just I got a little bored at work, but that's okay, But yeah, so overall, a good day, and we'll take that. We take those. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's go ahead and get into some news. All right. Our first story comes from CNN. Over 1,000 killed in landslide in Western Sudan village, armed group says. Excuse me. A landslide wiped out a village in Sudan's western region of Darfur, killing an estimated 1,000 people in one of the deadliest natural disasters in the African country's recent history, a rebel group controlling the area said late Monday. The tragedy happened Sunday in the village of Terrasin in central Darfur's Maria Mountains after days of heavy rainfall in late August, the Sudan Liberation Movement Army said in a statement. Initial information indicates the death of all village residents, estimated to be more than 1,000 people. Only one person survived, the statement read. That would be so insane to, one moment, everything's fine. You might be hunkering down for some bad weather ahead. Okay, whatever. You come out of that, you're potentially the only lone survivor of your village from this whole, natural disaster. It's just devastating. The village was completely leveled to the ground, the group said, appealing to the UN and international aid groups to help recover the bodies. Which sucks because, you're literally just saying, we're not talking rescue here. This shit was so definite and decisive that, we are instantly and just trying to recover and try to, get whatever we can out of this in terms of, building back up, getting the pieces, The tragedy came as a devastating civil war has engulfed Sudan after tensions between the country's military and paramilitary rapid support forces, or the RSF, exploded into open fighting in April 2023 in the capital of Khartoum and elsewhere in the country. And there's been a lot going on in that in general, but I'm just going to leave with this factoid before we move to the next story. The conflict has killed more than 40,000 people, forced more than 14 million people to flee their homes, and left some families eating grass in a desperate attempt to survive as famine swept parts of the country. So, I mean, just so much going on in Sudan in terms of just the conflict, in terms of just the natural disasters that are also taking place alongside said conflict. So it really does suck that, we are always coming back to Sudan, and it's just seeming like just more strife, more death, and that's unfortunate. That's very sad. But I know we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep coming back, and hopefully we will be back for some good news. I'm always hoping for that. Always rooting for that. Anyway, let's move on though to our next story. It's an update coming out of Ukraine from CBS News. Disguised gunman who assassinated prominent Ukraine politician is linked to Russia, Kyiv says. Kyiv on Monday said Russia was linked to the weekend assassination of a pro-Western Ukrainian politician after the arrest of a suspect alleged to have carried out the shooting disguised as a courier. Andriy Perubi, which I know I should have already learned how to pronounce his name. I still haven't. A former speaker of parliament and leading figure in Ukraine's pro-European protest movements of 2004 and 2014, was shot dead on Saturday in the western city of Lviv, near EU and NATO member Poland. So we don't have the name of the guy, which that's unfortunate. It's a bummer there. We do, though, have like a shot of his back via the picture. I don't have a picture in the thumbnail, actually, but from this article, I did see like they have an arrest of him in his house. But he shot Perubi 8 times in broad daylight, which we did cover that. But yeah, they have him shirtless, being apprehended by military officers, or at least officers in military uniform. But yeah, definitely looks like a hard case. Looks like a really serious dude. But yeah, I mean, I wish we had a name. That would be helpful. I'm always, wanting to at least put names to faces and say, well, this is the guy, this is what happened. But we still don't have a lot of details. We just have this initial information, whatever the, Ukraine has, come out and said, Ukrainian officials. So, that's where I'll leave that for now. But at least this guy has been apprehended. He's off the streets. He's not, doing his bang bang assassination shit, not hitting any more targets. So there's that. There's, you can call that a silver lining, maybe, I guess, one way to look at it. But let's move along. I feel like we have a good amount of cover, and I want to move quick. From PBS News, what to know about Guatemalan migrant children and efforts to send them home. Over Labor Day weekend, the Trump administration attempted to remove Guatemalan children who had come to the U.S. alone and were living in shelters or with foster care families in the United States. Advocates who represent migrant children in court filed lawsuits across the country seeking to stop the government from removing the children, and on Sunday, a federal judge stepped in to order that the kids at least temporarily stay in the U.S. The Trump administration has argued in court and on social media that they're doing this to reunite the children with their families back home at the behest of the Guatemalan government, and blamed advocates and the judge for stepping in. Which is like, no, motherfucker. You guys are literally trying to bypass due process to, like, thieves in the fucking night over a holiday weekend send children away. Like, and it's like they have gone through this whole process, like this whole turmoil to get here. And they are allowed to have their asylum. They're allowed to have their due process. And they're like, no, we asked them. They all wanted to go home. They all wanted to go home to their families. And it's like, literally, other people asked them. They're like, no, some people did. Some kids did. But of course, there's some that are like, no, we want to stay. Like, we've been through all this shit. We want to stay. And like, that is their right. And no matter what, and it doesn't matter which camp we're talking about here, they have a due process to go through. It doesn't matter, what kind of cooperation you have, coming out of Guatemala. And Guatemala does want to cooperate, but they really just want to make sure that it's like, hey, that these kids are taken care of. You know what I mean? Like that's what's important to us. And especially they're talking about like kids who are like in that age range of 17 going on 18, because we don't want to see them put into like adult detention centers or adult shelters or whatever, right? Like that's not what we want to see happen. I think I should be very specific there. It's like adult shelters. But either way, you have a situation where the Trump administration is trying to capitalize, like I said, on the situation of it being a holiday weekend. It's in the dead of night. You're going to try to put these kids on planes and get them out of here. There was one situation where we literally had, just like with the Kilmar Abrego Garcia, planes in the air. These motherfuckers are going away. And the judge is like, no, fucking stop. I've been saying stop. And essentially, in this situation, they obliged. So that's good that they didn't actually fulfill this plan that they were trying to, just kind of run roughshod. But it's crazy that we are still trying this method. Essentially saying they've run this line out of, we've secured our borders. Now the only thing that we need to do is get these deportations up. We need to get the ones in here. We need to get them out. And this logic that makes them go rabid. And they're like, we want to get anyone and everyone out. I know the party line that we said, we're like, oh, we just want to get the criminals. But really, aren't they all criminals? Like, that is the logic they are trying to push on the people. So it gives them this carte blanche. It gives them this freedom they feel to say, fuck the rules, fuck due process. We're going to have these kids on a plane and get them out of here right now. And who's going to stop us? I'm glad that the judge was able to. And they were like, this is surprising. Like, this is surprising that you would try to do this way. Like, it's very obvious. It's surprisingly obvious. I'm obviously paraphrasing this, but it's definitely very, very crazy that we are still here trying this shit, knowing that how fucked up it is. I guess I'm going to go ahead and get back to the article, but there are at least 3 legal cases going on around the country: Arizona, Washington, D.C., and Illinois. Representatives for unaccompanied migrant children are trying to stop the government from removing Guatemalan children who don't have final orders of removal from the country. Those children are living in a network of shelters or foster care arrangements overseen by the Office of Refugee Resettlement, which falls under the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, they go through each and every one of these circumstances. I want to say that the Illinois one, I believe, might be the one that was kind of like front and center, with like 4 minor children who are involved. There is a stay on that, I believe, until Wednesday. So, that's coming up tomorrow. We'll see how these things go as they kind of, progress. They did mention Arizona. They mentioned DC. There's other places. This is happening throughout the country. But, it is a crazy play to run out of the Trump administration. It's fucking cruel to try to do this to kids who are they've already gone through so fucking much. The least you can do is just allow them to sit, be here, be with especially if you're in a situation where you have at least some kind of foster like family, at least there's something there for you. But to like literally be snatched up like a thief in the night, and now your livelihood is going to be completely flipped again. It's crazy. But we'll see how these things go, these things progress. I'm sure I'll be back with updates. But yeah, I definitely, when I heard more of the story, I was immediately like, yeah, we gotta talk about this. Gotta talk about this at least a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, though. From ABC News. Man charged with murder in Houston door knock prank shooting of 11-year-old boy. A 42-year-old Texas man is facing a murder charge in the shooting of an 11-year-old boy after the victim and his friends banged on the suspect's door late Saturday night in what police described as a ding-dong ditch prank that has been trending on TikTok and other social media platforms, authorities said. Okay, so one, gotta say up top, don't do stupid shit like this. Pranks are so fucking dumb, dude. But also, isn't it crazy? Because I, as a elder millennial, a millennial boomer, as I like to call myself, we didn't need the internet to tell us how to do a ding dong ditch, right? Because don't be wrong, I am very anti prank. I said this before, but Ding dong ditching was something I did do at least once as a child. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. I was a little scamp in that regard for sure. And I'll tell you, the last time I fucking did this shit, right? Um, I was doing it in my own neighborhood, which, that's already rookie fucking behavior right there. You shouldn't do it in your neighborhood. Everyone knows who you are. Like, you guys are moving in a very obvious pattern and pack. Like, you can't, like, keep hitting this stuff. You shouldn't hit this area. Like, no. Plus, where are you going to run to? Next door, which kind of comes into play here. But, we're getting into it. We're liking it. We're hitting, like, I think we hit maybe, like, up to 2 houses at this point. It seemed like we were pretty successful, right? And then we go to do it again. And this is like my friend's house. This is literally my neighbor's house. We're getting so bold. The escalation is so crazy. And we go to do it. And this is my go. They immediately open the door and just start yelling at me. And of course, I fold. I'm scared. I'm crying. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so I get in trouble. And, lesson learned. I'm not doing that shit ever fucking again. We're done. We're done with that. This is no good. What was the point of this? And granted, that was very vanilla ding dong ditching, right? You knock on the door, you hit the bricks, right? There are obviously other escalations, as I'm sure my dear listeners already know. You don't need me to belabor the point, but I will just say it, where like you would escalate the prank of like, oh, we're gonna leave something really nasty and like a flaming bag of like poop. Ooh, look at this doggy doo, and we're gonna light it on fire. There's gonna be a whole thing there, step on it. Now stepping on doo doo. You know what I mean? So like, there was that. I had no friends that were ever doing that shit, but that was just some shit you'd see on TV or whatever. So like, it's crazy to me that TikTok is now the medium for how the kids are learning how to ding dong ditch. I'm like, okay. Also, it has another term they quote in this article called, I believe, kicking the door, which sounds way more aggressive. I feel like if that's used in court, it's going to make it like the jury needs to get a full explanation that that's just ding dong ditching. But essentially, though, it is a very frenetic. You're kicking, you're banging, you're being very aggressive, which some people might have already been doing on ding dong ditching. But I can see how that might add a level of fear, tension, what have you. But needless to say, let's continue the story, because no matter what the fuck happens here, that doesn't give you the situation to be like, oh, I'm going to be Judge Dredd now and just execute you right here on the spot with my gun. Like, no. The suspect, Leon Gonzalo Jr., was arrested and booked at the Harris County Jail on Tuesday morning, charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, according to Harris County court records. During his first court appearance on Tuesday, Gonzalo asked for a court-appointed attorney. He did not enter a plea deal and was ordered to be held without bond, pending a bail hearing on Wednesday. The shooting unfolded around 10:55 p.m. on Saturday at a home in southeast Houston, according to the Houston Police Department. The child, who police initially said was 10 years old, was pronounced dead at a hospital on Sunday afternoon, according to a statement released by the police. The victim was identified on Tuesday as 11-year-old Julian Guzman. So yeah, I mean, they were running around the neighborhood, doing this shit. It is said that Guzman, hits the door, he's running, and then you see Gonzalo come out and he starts firing. So that, to me, once I heard that part of the story, I was like, so we can officially throw out self-defense, right? Because that is definitely something I feel like they're going to try in court. Like, oh, this was some kind of self-defense play or what have you. But we've seen this before, where it's like, how is it self-defense if you are hiding behind a door, you have a whole ass fucking firearm, and you're just blam, 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 blam. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You don't even know what's going on the other side of the door. And in this situation, that's already out the window. That's literally out the house. This man came out looking to be like, you're never going to do this shit again. And I mean, that's me being alleged. That's me with the speculation hat on, whatever. But if the witness statement is to be believed, that's what happened. And Guzman, I think tries to run a little bit further and then collapses, and then they take him in and to the hospital, and he dies. So very tragic. It's very unfortunate. Yes, this could all be avoided. Yes, should you be doing pranks like this? No, you fucking shouldn't. But you also shouldn't get executed for doing them. That shouldn't be a fucking crazy take. Also, mind you, this isn't a new thing in terms of like people just coming out blasting in terms of like a door ditching situation. The fatal shooting follows a string of incidents across the country associated with the door kicking challenge on social media. That's what it's called. In July, a 58-year-old Texas, I love how it's also from Texas, Texas homeowner was arrested and charged with aggravated assault when he allegedly fired multiple rounds at a vehicle fleeing his home in Frisco after someone banged on the door, according to a statement from the Frisco Police Department. The driver shot of the car. The driver of the car that was shot at around 10:50 on July 28th, and two passengers contacted and police to file a complaint, showing officers 3 bullet holes in the vehicle. I wonder then if this was even a door kicking thing. Then let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's one more. In June, police in Chandler, Arizona, released video footage of a group of juveniles committing the door kicking challenge, alleging the group pulled the prank on the same home at least 18 times, prompting the homeowner to move out. So, I mean, yes, I could see how this is a very stress-inducing thing. But once again, this is not an Annie go get your gun situation where you get to just fucking go, oh, I'm gonna go blammo mode and fucking kill some kids or kill the people behind this fucking door, kill the people behind this scheme. That's just not how it works. Like, people really want to emotionally stretch what the Second Amendment can fucking do. You have the right to bear arms. You fucking do. But it doesn't give you, omni self-defense offense, where you just get to start shooting people who make you upset and make you mad. But sadly, that is what impulse does when you have the fucking tools to do so. In a lot of situations, at least. I obviously can't make the blanket and say every gun owner is like this. I'm not saying that. But, I don't know, man. We always get here, don't we? We always get here. And like I said before, I don't like having this conversation. I don't. It stresses me the fuck out. But, it'd be nice. Nice if we could just do something about that, huh? That'd be cool. But here we are, 2025. Door ditch or die. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway. Okay, I gotta issue another apology, which I do a lot. I'm saying sorry a lot, which is my nature, but also I do need to do this because I make mistakes. I'm a human being. I'm a human being, and I bleed. Okay, I slip, I fall. All right. Anyway, I forgot to do the last break last episode, and I'm so sorry for that. I know people look forward to having the startup and having their last break, and as a team leader, as a technical, in a way, a boss, and that's the experience that we are logging on to when we do this project, the newsstand. I feel like I led you off, and to not have a fucking last break is fucked up. That's bad policy on my end. So I apologize. And I also forgot to do this article. I forgot. I literally was like, Isaiah, you didn't cover Burning Man. So we gotta take our last break, and then we gotta talk about a dead man at Burning Man. Anyway, let's wind our bases, okay? Really gotta enjoy this. We gotta make up for lost time, so you're getting a little bit of extra time, right? I'm gonna take a little extra myself. Oh, buddy. Whew. Oh, yeah. Tasty. All right. From ABC News. Burning Man participant found dead at festival. Homicide investigation underway. Officials in Nevada are investigating a homicide after a Burning Man participant was found dead, according to the Pershing County Sheriff's Office. On Saturday, at approximately 9:14 p.m., a sheriff's deputy was alerted by an event participant at Burning Man, an annual festival that takes place in Black Rock City, Nevada. that there was a man lying in a pool of blood, the sheriff's office said in a statement on Sunday. Officials immediately responded to the campsite and found a single white adult male lying on the ground, obviously deceased, according to authorities. Law enforcement then created a perimeter around the area with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office Forensic Science Division assisting in processing the scene and collection of evidence. The Sheriff's Office also noted that they interviewed several participants in the immediate area. Excuse me. But as of Sunday, the investigation was still ongoing, with a portion of the festival's city having heavy law enforcement presence until the scene can be released, according to officials. Although this act appears to be a singular one, all participants should always be vigilant of their surroundings and acquaintances, the sheriff's office said. On Monday, the Pershing County office told ABC News that detectives are actively receiving tips and tracking down information related to the death. There have been no arrests, officials said. The identity of the body, which will be transferred to the Washoe County Medical Examiner's Office, has not been identified by officials. Notification there. Burning Man said in a statement they are cooperating with law enforcement as the investigation continues, and 3 public Wi-Fi spots will be available for attendees who need to communicate with loved ones. I actually will say that would be pretty fucking dramatic to go to Burning Man. I imagine fully experience Burning Man, if you know what I'm saying. So you're going to be really into some vibes, and I imagine the vibes are going to start feeling really dark when you go, oh man, no way, man, that's a dead body over there. Oh no, this is like not like a symbolic thing, huh? No, he's really, oh no, man, that would harsh my vibe for sure. That would really bottom me out, you know? So I could see like, hey, I'm glad that there's some Wi-Fi for me so I can, maybe phone a friend, maybe cry a little bit, really feel that out. But crazy that like this to me, and I'm sure that this is a story that has taken place on a CSI, episode, but this just feels like a CSI Vegas thing. Or, definitely like a CSI, like OG CSI for sure. Death at a Burning Man. So, I mean, I don't know. I was very compelled to cover this until I forgot yesterday. So, oopsie. But yeah, if I get any more details, I will definitely be back. We will definitely be back to Burning Man. And hopefully we can get, more light on this dark tale. But yeah, that's it. That's really all I have for today. Definitely more news coming down the pipe. We are loaded this week, it feels like. I got a lot to get through. So, we'll be back for more tomorrow for sure. But if you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you like to listen on. And then leave a like, leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. Always appreciate that. All the stars, whether we're talking like Spotify or we're talking Apple Podcasts, those are always appreciated for the reviews, for the algorithm. But yeah, that's it. That's really all I have. So, also I just appreciate you just hanging out with me, whether or not, you comment or not. If you're just a lurker, that's really cool. Thank you. You're so cool for that. But no, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.